It's the first time that I'm in Croatia.
Danas je meni prvi puta da sam u Hrvatskoj,
And I do businesses in 15 countries.
a ja imam poslove u 15 zemalja,
But I have never had a beginning of a seminar like you had here in Croatia.
ali još nikada nisam imao početak seminara kao što ste vi ovdje imali u Hrvatskoj.
How many of you are not in the business yet?
Koliko od vas još niste u poslu?
Can I see a show of hands, please?
Mogu li vidjeti vaše ruke?
Okay. Have you
Novi,
all
da.
seen the concept?
Da li ste svi vidjeli koncept?
Yes?
Da.
Who did not see it yet?
Tko nije još vidio marketing plan?
Okay. You like the music?
Da li vam se sviđa muzika?
Good. Every month we do that.
Ok, mi to radimo svaki mjesec.
Every month here we come because of clapping and we dance.
Svaki mjesec dolazimo vamo, plješćemo, plešemo.
And there are positive people around.
Pozitivni ljudi su oko nas.
Because this is supposed to be a business seminar.
Jer ovo bi trebao biti poslovni seminar.
I like your business seminars in Croatia.
Ja volim vaše poslovne seminare u Hrvatskoj.
Because at home in Austria and Germany they would have left already.
Jer kod nas u Austriji ili u Njemačkoj pola bi ljudi već otišlo van.
That's how they would sit in there.
Tako bi oni sjedili.
And then they would not understand that you play music and that you clap and you cheer.
Oni ne bi razumjeli da vi imate muziku, da plješćete, da se veselite.
They do that after 2-3 hours.
Oni to rade nakon 2 do 3 sata.
Or maybe after some schnapps, you know.
Ili možda nakon rakije.
We are not so relaxed like you are.
Mi nismo tako opušteni kao što ste vi.
That's why we love to come to holiday here.
Zbog toga volimo doći vamo na godišnji.
That's why you have millions and millions of people coming to your wonderful place here.
I zbog toga milijoni i milijoni ljudi dolaze u našu prekrasnu zemlju.
So for me, I just arrived last night for the first time here to Croatia.
Ja sam prvi puta noćas sletio u Hrvatsku.
I love your food. Oh man.
Obožavam vašu hranu.
This does not help my body.
To ne pomaže mom tijelu.
But I also love the leaders I met already yesterday and today.
Ali isto tako volim i lidere koje sam upoznao jučer i danas.
And so I just want to tell you a little bit what will happen today.
I samo ću vam malo ispričati što će se danas dogoditi.
Number one, you will hear great music.
Kao prvo imat ćete super muziku.
Because I heard of Gino Fatek,
Čuo sam od gospodina Gina
and
Fotaka
Mr. Finderle here at the back.
i gospodin Finderle od zada.
He loves music. He loves technique.
On obožava tehniku i muziku.
But you also will see many people who see this business as a future for them.
Ali isto tako vidjet ćete mnoge ljude koje vide u ovom poslu njihovu budućnost.
Most of them do that part-time.
Većina njih to rade dodatno.
They do that next to
Posao.
their traditional business or next to their job.
Uz znači svoje tradicionalno zanimanje ili posao.
But then you also will hear some technique if you want to build this business.
Ali isto tako ćete čuti neke tehnike ako želite izgraditi ovaj posao.
How this fits into your life.
Kako se to uklapa u vaš život.
And the easiest way is just by telling stories.
A najjednostavniji način je kroz pričanje priča.
So my first part today is to talk a little bit where I came from, what I did, and how we became successful.
Dakle, moj prvi dio je da vam ispričamo odakle dolazim, što smo radili i kako smo postali uspješni.
And so this is what I will do in my 2 speeches today.
I to je ono što ću ja danas raditi u moja 2 govora.
So especially on the second one after we have the break,
A pogotovo u onom drugom dijelu nakon pauze,
and you have to promise me,
a morate mi obećati,
you're already so relaxed,
vi ste već toliko opušteni,
you don't need any more schnapps, okay?
ne treba vam više rakije.
But this is where we tell you what we learned the last 15 years.
Ali tada ću vam reći što smo mi naučili u posljednjih 15 godina.
And so it's wonderful that I have a translator here because otherwise I could not talk to you.
I divno je što imam prevodioca, inače ne bih mogao vama govoriti.
So I can put my story, I'm now 49,
I tako mogu svoju priču, sad imam 49 godina,
into 50 minutes
mogu strpati u 50 minuta
with translation.
sa prijevodom.
So it's 25 minutes.
To je znači 25 minuta.
So it's very compromised.
To je vrlo komprimirano.
But I saw this business concept 15 years ago in Australia.
Ja sam ovaj poslovni koncept vidio pred 15 godina u
And
Australiji.
it was not like this.
I nije bilo ovako.
And since 13 years we do this full time.
I 13 godina već radimo ovo kao glavno zanimanje.
But when I saw this concept, I thought this is exactly what I was looking for.
Kad sam vidio ovaj koncept, rekao sam to je točno ono što sam tražio.
And I do not know how competitive you are, how successful you want to become.
I ne znam koliko natjecateljskog duha vi imate i koliko uspješni želite postati.
But you should write down 3 things.
Ali trebali biste se zapisati
So
3
I hope
stvari.
you all have a pen and the paper because this is a business meeting.
Ja se nadam da imate svi nešto zapisati i papir, jer ovo je ipak
And you
poslovni
know,
susret.
Austrians and Germans always want to work.
A Austrijanci i Njemci uvijek žele raditi.
If you really want to become successful,
Ako stvarno želite postati uspješni,
there have to be three things which are important.
Postoje tri stvari koje su važne.
And so either you have one or two of those things already in your business adventure,
Ili već imate jednu ili dvije od tih stvari u vašem poslu,
or maybe you know this you don't have in your business.
ili možda znate da ih nemate.
The number one is you always have to work for yourself. You have to have your own business or enterprise.
Broj jedan je, vi morate uvijek raditi za sebe. Morate imati vlastiti posao ili firmu.
Otherwise you always work for somebody else.
U protivnom, uvijek ćete raditi za nekoga drugoga.
And in Western Europe, when you're in a high position, if you're a manager, for example,
U zapadnoj Europi, ako ste na visokom položaju, neki direktor, menadžer,
when you're around 40, 45, you become too expensive and they want to get rid of you.
kad navršite 40-45 godina, postajete predobri, preskupi i žele vas se riješiti.
And so the only security is if you have your own business,
I jedina sigurnost je ako imate vlastiti posao,
but not a traditional business.
ali ne tradicionalni
And I
posao.
will talk about this later.
A o tome ću malo kasnije.
And the second thing is,
Druga stvar je,
you need products or services everybody needs.
trebaju vam proizvodi ili usluge koje svi trebaju.
I will tell you a little bit how this business works in India or in China.
Ispričat ću vam malo kako ovaj posao funkcionira u Indiji ili Kini.
They are not as wealthy as you in Croatia.
Oni nisu tako bogati kao mi u Hrvatskoj.
They don't have such a stable currency than you have.
Oni nemaju tako čvrstu valutu kao što mi
They don't
imamo.
live so well than you live.
Oni ne žive tako dobro kao mi.
You live in paradise.
Vi živite u raju.
Ah, you're awake. Good.
A, probudili ste se.
It depends who you ask.
Ovisi o tome koga pitate.
How do you compare yourself?
Kako se uspoređujete?
With which people in your country or with which nationality do you compare yourself?
S kojim ljudima u vašoj zemlji ili sa kojim nacijama?
But we have business which is for all over the world.
Ali mi imamo poslove po cijelom svijetu.
And it doesn't matter if the times are good times, if the times are bad times.
I bez obzira da li su vremena dobra ili loša,
Just a question, for example.
samo jedno pitanje, na
Who
primjer.
of you will buy a dishwasher or washing machine next week? Can I see a show of hands, please?
Tko od vas namjerava idući tjedan kupiti mašinu za pranje suđa?
Oh boy, that's a bad business.
To izgleda da nije baš neki posao.
Anybody is buying a Walkman, a stereo machine?
Da li neko namjerava kupiti idući tjedan Walkman ili stereo uređaj?
Any watch, jewelry?
Možda nakit ili sat?
It's always the women. It's always the
Uvijek
women.
su žene.
Who is buying a new car next week?
Tko idući tjedan kupuje novi auto?
Who will buy a computer next week?
Tko idući tjedan kupuje kompjutor?
Who will wash his hair next week?
Tko će idući tjedan oprat kosu?
Brush his teeth.
Oprati zube?
Do this and
Stavit-
this and this. Who will eat?
Tko će jesti?
Who will drink coffee? Who will drink tea?
Tko će piti kavu, čaj?
Who will do something for health, vitamins?
Tko će piti vitamine?
You have to understand that.
Vi morate to razumjeti.
Do you have products which you need and people need if the times are good or bad? It doesn't matter.
Ako imate proizvode koji svi trebaju, trebaju ih uvijek, bez obzira da li je vremena dobra ili loša.
Second point.
To je druga točka.
The third point,
Treća točka,
duplication.
duplikacija.
I also have seen here a company which has this golden M.
Vidio sam ovdje i onu kompaniju koja ima onaj zlatni M.
Not many people like the food,
Ne vole mnogi njihovu hranu,
but the children love the toys
ali djeca obožavaju njihove igračke
and have wonderful advertisement.
i imaju super promidžbu.
And they know for every outlet they have approximately $1 million turnover.
I znaju da po poslovnici imaju otprilike $1 milion prometa.
So if they want to make 2 million,
Dakle, ako žele napraviti 2
they
milijuna,
just open another outlet.
onda će otvoriti još jednu poslovnicu.
They want to make 3 million, another outlet.
Za 3 milijuna još jedna poslovnica.
So on an average, every 10 hours they open a new outlet.
Dakle, u prosjeku oni svakih 10 sati otvaraju novu poslovnicu.
That's the third point you need if you want to become successful.
To je znači treća spona koja vam je potrebna ako želite postati uspješni.
Duplication, multiplication.
Duplikacija, multiplikacija.
If you have an entrepreneurship or if you're a business owner.
Ako ste vlasnik posla ili ako imate firmu.
And if you're a professional, you're an academic.
Ako ste profesionalac, akademik,
It does not matter how much hourly money you make.
nije važno koliko zarađujete na sat,
You need also duplication.
i vama je potrebna
How
duplikacija.
can I duplicate my time? That's a big question.
Kako mogu duplicirati svoje vrijeme? To je važno pitanje.
So those are the three most important points.
Znači, to su 3 najvažnije točke.
But the fourth important point, which I just learned over the last years,
Ali 4. najvažnija točka koju sam ja naučio kroz proteklih nekoliko godina,
you need to like what you do.
morate voljeti ono što radite.
If you don't like what you do, you
Ako-
will never become successful.
Ako ne volite ono što radite, nikad ne možete postati uspješni.
I can only tell you from us in Austria.
Ja vam mogu to samo ispričati iz naše situacije iz Austrije.
When I went to school, I loved Saturday and Sunday.
Kad sam išao u školu, volio sam subotu i nedjelju.
Monday I did not like it.
Ponedjeljak nisam volio.
Who felt the same?
Tko je isto tako osjećao?
Many children feel like this, okay?
Mnoga djeca se tako
Oh,
osjećaju.
Monday I have to go to school again.
U ponedjeljak opet moram ići u školu.
But thank God, very soon I'm adult and I don't have to go to school anymore.
Ali na svu sreću uskoro bit ću odrastao i neću morati više ići u
And
školu.
then we are adults.
I onda smo
And
odrasli.
we start to go to work.
I onda krenemo na
And
posao.
we can't wait until it's Monday.
I ne možemo
La,
dočekati da
la,
dođe
la, la,
ponedjeljak.
la. That's how we all go to work, right?
Tako idemo na posao, jel tako?
We love it.
Mi obožavamo to.
Who hates to go to work?
Tko mrzi ići na posao?
The same all over the world.
Isto je svugdje u svijetu.
But please remember, thank God you have work.
Ali sjetite se, na svu sreću pa imate posao.
There are many people who don't have work.
Postoje mnogi ljudi koji nemaju posao.
So be grateful that you have work.
Dakle, budite zahvalni što imate posao.
But how long do you want to go to a place you don't like?
Ali koliko dugo želite ići na mjesto koje ne volite?
You will never become successful.
Nikad nećete postati uspješni.
So if you go to work,
Dakle, ako idete na posao,
I hope you like it.
ja se nadam da vam se to sviđa.
If you don't like it,
Ako vam se ne sviđa,
I hope you get a lot of money.
nadam se da puno zarađujete.
But if those two things don't count to you,
Ali ako te 2 stvari vama nisu važne,
then you're stupid that you still go to work.
onda ste glupi ako i dalje idete na taj posao.
Change.
Promijenite se.
Change before they will change you.
Promijenite se prije nego što oni vas promijene.
Because they feel that you are not happy what you're doing.
Jer oni osjećaju da vi niste sretni s time što
And so
radite.
those are the things which are important to have a successful life.
Dakle, to su stvari koje su važne, bitne ako želite uspješan život.
And in your days before and in many other countries, people wait always for the government to help.
I u vašim danima ranije i u mnogim drugim zemljama ljudi uvijek čekaju da vlada
And
pomogne.
I see you will have soon elections, right?
I vidim da uskoro imate izbore, jel
And
tako?
when you have this politician on top, everything will change, right?
Kad imate ove političare u vladi, onda će se sve promijeniti, jel tako?
Yes. They always promise you before the election what will happen, okay?
Oni vam uvijek obećaju prije izbora šta će biti.
And after the election, they change everything.
I nakon izbora promijene sve.
It's the same all over the world.
To je tako svugdje u svijetu.
Don't wait for the government. They cannot help you.
Nemojte čekati na vladu, oni vam ne mogu pomoći.
Help yourself.
Pomozite si sami.
And this is called free enterprise.
I to se zove slobodno poduzetništvo.
In every country you had different car companies.
Svaka zemlja ima drugačije automobilske marke.
Like in Czech and Slovak they had the Skoda.
Kao što u Češkoj i Slovačkoj imaju Škodu.
And in the Western European countries it was called the Volkswagen.
A u zapadnim zemljama to se zvao Volkswagen.
Everybody could afford to buy Volkswagen.
Svatko si mogao priuštiti i kupiti Volkswagen.
And now you have a business for everybody.
A sad imate posao za svakoga.
That's the Volkswagen of free enterprise.
To je Volkswagen slobodnog poduzetništva.
You do not need to have a special education.
Nije vam potrebno neko specijalno
You
obrazovanje.
do not need a lot of capital.
Ne treba vam puno kapitala.
Wherever you come from, whatever you did before,
Odakle god dolazite, što god da ste prije radili,
you can build it and you can learn it while you're doing it.
možete to izgraditi i naučiti dok radite.
And so it's very logic.
Dakle, to je vrlo logično.
If you see the business concept,
Ako vidite poslovni koncept,
everybody must join.
svako vam se mora priključiti.
It makes so much sense that everybody joins.
Toliko ima smisla da se svi uključuju.
If they are logical.
Ako su logični.
Are people logical?
Da li su ljudi logični?
What are people? People are emotional, right?
Što su ljudi? Ljudi su emocionalni, jel tako?
Remember, we know smoking is not good for our health,
Sjetite se, mi znamo da pušenje nije dobro za naše zdravlje.
and we still smoke.
I ipak pušimo.
We know to have a girlfriend that's not good for your partnership.
Mi znamo da ako imate vezu sa strane, da to nije dobro za vaš partnerski odnos.
And still some have girlfriends.
A ipak neki imaju
We know
vezu
to
sa strane.
eat is not good,
Mi znamo da prekomjerna hrana nije dobra.
and we still eat too much.
i ipak previše jedemo.
We know we should exercise, but we still don't exercise.
Mi znamo da bismo trebali vježbati, pa ipak to ne radimo.
So people are not logical.
Dakle, ljudi nisu logični.
People make decisions on emotions.
Ljudi odluke donose na bazi emocija.
And so I hope you understand that this is logical. Yes, it works worldwide.
I ja se nadam da razumijete, ovo je logično, da, ovo funkcionira u cijelom svijetu.
This business works in more than 80 countries around the world.
Funkcionira u više od 80 zemalja u svijetu.
It's proven in more than 40 countries around the world.
Dokazano je u više od 40 zemalja u svijetu.
And it will be successful here in your region too.
I bit će uspješno i ovdje u vašoj regiji.
So the only question is,
dakle, jedino pitanje je,
is this something for you?
Da li je ovo nešto za vas?
That's the only question.
To je jedino pitanje.
And so that's why you're here today.
I zbog toga ste danas ovdje.
And I brought some folie for you from my life.
Ponio sam neke folije za vas iz mog
so
života.
You can see where I come from.
Tako da vidite odakle ja dolazim.
And when I started with this business,
i kad sam ja započinjao ovaj posao,
I was afraid to talk to people.
Ja sam se bojao pričati pred ljudima.
I was afraid to go dancing.
Bojao sam se ići plesat.
And ask girls to go dance with me.
I da pitam cure da li će sa mnom plesati.
Because they might say no.
Jer mogli bi reći i ne.
And I would die.
A ja bih umro.
Because everybody's watching me if how she says no to me.
Jer svi gledaju u mene i kako će ona meni reći ne.
When you're at big meetings like this,
ako ste na velikim susretima kao što je ovaj,
and the lady from over there,
i dama sa ove strane,
really needs to go to the toilet.
Stvarno mora ići na WC.
She would never ever
ona nikada
go by herself.
Ne bi otišla tamo sama.
It's always two girls going.
To su uvijek dvije djevojke koje idu.
Have you ever watched that?
Jeste li ikad to primijetili?
They never go by themselves.
Nikad ne idu same na WC.
It's funny to watch.
Zabavno je to promatrati.
And so, if my wife would not have asked me to dance, I still would not be married.
I tako, dakle, da me moja žena nije upitala za ples, ja još danas ne bi bio oženjen.
And now I have a business with people.
A sada imam posao sa ljudima.
I should talk to people.
Ja bih trebao razgovarati sa ljudima. Trebao bih raditi sa ljudima.
And it was so difficult for me.
I to je bilo tako teško za mene.
But I'm the best example for you to give hope to you.
Ali ja sam najbolji primjer za vas da vam dam nadu.
Because you can learn everything you really want.
Jer možete naučiti sve što stvarno želite.
And I just want to tell you one simple story.
I želim vam ispričati samo jednu jednostavnu priču.
Because the one who showed us this concept and who helped us is Mr. Jim Dornan from America.
Jer osoba koja je nama pokazala ovaj koncept je Jim Dornan iz Amerike.
He said, yes, you have a name list of 300, 400, 500 people.
Rekao je da, vi imate listu sa 300, 400, 500 ljudi.
And yes, you show this concept to everybody.
I da, pokazujete ovaj koncept svima.
And some people will say yes, some people say maybe, and some people say no, that's normal.
I neki ljudi će vam reći da, neki će reći možda, neki će reći ne, to je normalno.
But he said the biggest potential you will have when you don't have any more friends on your name list.
Ali kaže, najveći potencijal ćete imati ako nema više nikoga na vašoj listi imena.
When you don't know anybody anymore.
Kad ne znate više nikoga kome niste pokazali ovaj
Then
posao.
your potential is open.
Onda se vaš potencijal otvara.
Then you have 7 billion people.
Onda imate 7 milijardi ljudi.
Unbelievable.
Nevjerovatno.
I could not imagine this.
Ja si to nisam mogao zamisliti.
And so now I'm flying to most cities. I don't drive my car.
Ja sada letim u većinu gradova, ne vozim se autom.
So I don't fly from Austria. I fly down here to Zagreb and I get a taxi and I go to the hotel.
Ja dakle sletim u Zagreb i onda taksi me odveze do hotela.
But last week I was in Czech Republic.
Ali prošli tjedan sam bio u Češkoj.
And this was only 2 hours away from Vienna.
A to je samo 2 sata udaljeno od Beča.
And so they said, I'm welcome to be a speaker there.
Tamo su me pozvali da budem govornik.
And they told me a name, a city.
I rekli su mi ime grada.
So I had to buy a street map.
Dakle, morao sam kupiti kartu,
to even know where this, how I get there.
Da bih znao i kako doći
and
do
then they
tamo.
were sending me the name of the hotel and the address of the hotel.
I onda su mi dali ime hotela i adresu hotela.
So I drove off.
I tako sam krenuo.
And this could happen the same here in Croatia.
A to bi se moglo dogoditi isto tako i u Hrvatskoj.
You give me a city, you give me a hotel and I drive.
Vi mi možete dati grad i ime hotela i ja se vozim.
But then I come into the city.
I onda dođem u grad.
And from the freeway there are different exits. Which exit do I take?
I onda sa autoputa postoje razni izlazi za taj grad. Koji ću uzeti?
I didn't know.
Nisam znao.
I took this one. It was right.
Ok, ocijenio sam ovaj bi mogao biti pravi i bio je.
I came into the town.
Ušao sam u grad.
Now, how do I find the hotel?
A kako ću sad naći hotel?
I don't have a city map.
Nemam plan
I
grada,
don't speak Czech,
ne govorim češki,
like I don't speak Croatian.
kao što ne govorim ni hrvatski.
It's the same you come to Austria.
Isto kao kad vi dolazite u Austriju.
But I think many of you speak German. Who speaks German here?
Ali mislim da vi mnogi govorite njemački. Tko ovdje govori njemački?
Ah, yes, smart people.
Pametni ljudi.
Who of you speaks English?
Tko od vas govori engleski?
Holy moly. 7 billion people are waiting for you. You know that?
7 milijardi ljudi čekaju na vas.
I only speak English and German
Ja govorim samo engleski i njemački.
and Austrian.
I austrijski.
That's very good, okay?
To je jako dobro.
So I came into this city.
I tako sam ušao u taj grad.
How do I find the hotel?
Kako ću naći hotel?
A real man,
Pravi muškarac,
a macho,
macho,
he drives
on se vozi.
and drives
I vozi.
and drives
I vozi.
and drives.
I vozi.
And his wife wants to kill him
I žena ga hoće ubiti.
because a macho never asks somebody for help.
Jer macho nikada ne upita za pomoć.
I'm not weak.
Ja nisam slabić.
I didn't even ask my wife to dance. I'm not a macho.
Ja nisam čak ni svoju ženu pitao, ja nisam macho.
I stopped
Stao sam
and I asked the person, you speak English, Deutsch?
i pitao sam osobu koja mi je prišla da li govori engleski ili njemački.
International language, no.
Odgovorio mi je na internacionalnom jeziku ne.
I showed him the address and the hotel.
Pokazao sam mu adresu hotela. I onda mi je pokazao rukom kako da idem.
Thank you.
Ja sam rekao hvala.
The first 2 turns I knew.
Prvih nekoliko puta sam skrenuo
I stopped again.
i ponovo stao.
Another person.
Druga osoba.
Hello.
Bog.
Dobry dan.
Dobar dan.
Okay. You speak English, German,
Govorite li engleski ili njemački?
and wenig Deutsch.
Malo njemačkog.
Pussy. How do I find this place?
Kako ću pronaći ovo mjesto?
And he said, I can show you.
I on je rekao, mogu vam pokazati.
Next to this hotel, there is a nice restaurant and the beer bar.
Kraj tog hotela je jedan lijepi restoran i pivnica.
I can drive with you.
Mogu s vama ići tamo.
Beautiful. Jump in. He came in.
Rekli smo super, ajde, sjedi unutra.
On the way over, we talked a little bit,
Na putu tamo malo smo razgovarali
and we drove straight to the hotel.
i išli smo ravno u hotel.
He got out.
On je izašao,
He went to the beer bar,
on je otišao u pivnicu
and I paid him a beer,
i ja sam mu platio pivo.
and he was really happy.
I on je bio jako sretan.
And I was in the hotel.
Ja sam bio u hotelu,
I checked in. I got my luggage up there.
prijavio se na recepciji, odnijeli su mi
And
prtljagu
then I tried to make some thoughts for what I say tomorrow.
i onda sam pokušao malo razmišljati o tome što ću reći drugi dan.
After 1 hour, somebody knocks on my door.
Nakon sat vremena neko kuca na moja
I
vrata.
open up and it's somebody from the hotel with a card.
Otvorim vrata i neko iz hotela je stajao sa karticom.
And this person brings me this card and says, somebody gave me this card, I should give it to you.
I rekao je, neko mi je dao tu kartu i da vama dam.
I look at the name, I don't know this person.
Pogledam na ime i kažem, ne poznajem tu
And I
osobu.
thought it's maybe one of our business partners
I mislio sam da je to možda jedan od mojih poslovnih partnera
who wants to welcome me in his city and if I have any questions.
tko me želi pozdraviti u svom gradu i pitati
So
nešto.
I did not call.
Dakle, nisam nazvao.
But next day in the morning I called this number
Ali idući dan ujutro nazvao sam taj broj
and I just introduced myself and I said, look, thank you very much for the card.
i predstavio sam se i rekao, čujte, hvala vam lijepa na ovoj karti
And I heard they speak German.
i čuo sam da govori njemački.
And he said, one moment, I stopped my car first.
Samo trenutak da zaustavim auto.
And then I said, wonderful, I will see you today at the seminar.
Rekao sam, super, vidjet ćemo se na seminaru.
He says, which seminar?
On je pitao, koji seminar?
I said, who is your sponsor? Who is your upline? Who helps you?
Ja sam pitao, ko je vaš sponzor, ko je vaš upline, ko vam pomaže?
What is this?
Što je to?
I thought, this strange guy.
Mislio sam čudan čovjek.
I said, okay, see you later.
Rekao sam, ok, vidimo se kasnije.
You know who this card was?
Znate čija je to kartica bila?
My beer drinker.
Od onoga kojem sam platio pivo.
He gave me his card
Dao mi je svoju karticu,
so I can call him if I need any help.
tako da ga mogu nazvati ako mi treba pomoć.
And so, yes, I can give him help.
Da, mogu mu pomoć.
He's friendly,
On je ljubazan,
he's nice.
on je ugodan
And so I gave this card to somebody who lives in his city to show him the business.
i dao sam njegovu vizitku osobe koja živi u tom gradu i koja mu može pokazati posao.
It is a long story what I told you,
To je sad duga priča koju sam vam ispričao,
but it has a point.
ali ima svoju poantu.
All you have to learn in this business
Sve što morate naučiti u ovom poslu
is to say,
je da kažete
Dobar dan.
dobar dan.
All you have to say is hello.
Sve što morate znati je reći halo, bok, dobar dan.
Just be friendly and nice to people. You are already different.
Samo budite ljubazni prema ljudima i već ste drugačiji.
And people will come to you.
I ljudi će vam dolaziti.
Just learn that.
Samo naučite to.
Do you know the person next to you?
Poznajete li osobu do vas?
Start.
Počnite.
Say hello.
Recite
How are you?
dobar dan, kako ste?
That's our business.
To je naš posao.
For some of you it's difficult, you see.
Za neke od vas to je teško, jel tako?
I don't like this.
Ja to ne volim.
Who is this one?
Tko je taj?
That's what I had to learn.
To sam ja morao naučiti.
Just say hello, how are you?
Samo recite dobar dan, kako ste?
And this made me free.
I to me je oslobodilo.
And so for you, when I think about success,
I dakle za vas, kada mislim na uspjeh,
how do you define success for yourself?
kako vi za sebe definirate uspjeh?
I think at the moment everybody's thinking about capitalism. Everybody wants just to be rich.
Mislim da sad svi trenutno razmišljaju o kapitalizmu, svi žele biti bogati.
Yes, money is important.
Da, novac je važan.
Yes, you can buy time with money. You can buy quality.
Da, možete kupiti vrijeme sa novcem, možete kupiti kvalitetu.
But the answer to all the problems is not only money.
Ali odgovor na sve probleme nije isključivo novac.
There must be more than just money.
Mora biti više od samo
And
novca.
so what is important for you in your life?
Dakle, što je važno vama u vašem životu?
And I think this is what you really have to think about.
I mislim da je to ono o čemu stvarno morate razmišljati.
And so for you, I show you some folio now.
I dakle, pokazat ću vam neke folije za vas.
So you understand what I did before and how it come from.
Tako da razumijete što sam prije radio i odakle dolazim.
You heard before I was in the snow business.
I kao što znate, ja sam bio u poslu sa snijegom.
And in the snow business,
A u poslu sa snijegom,
this is what I did.
to je ono što sam ja radio.
In the winter time I was in America, in the summertime I was in Australia.
Zimi sam bio u Americi, a ljeti u Australiji.
3 months, 18 hours a day work,
3 mjeseca, 18 sati na dan rada.
then 3 days holiday, 3 months holiday.
I nakon toga 3 mjeseca odmora.
And then I had 3 months work again,
A onda sam imao opet 3 mjeseca rada.
and then I had 3 months holiday again.
A onda opet 3 mjeseca praznika.
And I did that.
I tako sam to radio.
But this was not my profession.
Ali to nije bila moja profesija.
My profession was teacher.
Moja profesija je bila učitelj.
And I was working for the government,
Radio sam za vladu,
because in Austria everybody works for the government.
jer u Austriji svi rade za vladu.
You don't get a lot of money,
Ne dobijete puno novaca,
but you have a secure job.
ali imate siguran posao.
And as a teacher you have a lot of holiday.
I kao učitelj imate puno praznika.
So my friends and my relatives and my parents said,
I tako su moji prijatelji i rodbina i
it's not
roditelji
important that
rekli,
you like your job.
nije važno da li voliš svoj posao,
It's not important that you make a lot of money.
nije važno da li zarađuješ puno novca,
But when you're old,
ali kad budeš star,
life really is nice.
život je stvarno lijep.
Many of you think like this.
Mnogi od vas misle tako.
And because of this, I still changed.
I zbog toga ja sam se dalje mijenjao.
I gave up my job
Napustio sam svoj posao
because I wanted to travel.
jer sam htio putovati.
And I traveled the world.
I proputovao sam svijetom.
And then I found this business.
I onda sam našao ovaj posao.
And when I found this business, they were saying, you look for 6 people.
I kad sam pronašao ovaj posao, rekli su ti tražiš 6 ljudi.
Only 6 people
Samo 6 ljudi
who want something like you want it.
koji žele nešto kao što ti želiš.
Who want to change something in their lives.
Koji žele nešto promijeniti u svojim
And
životima.
this is a picture of those people.
I to je slika tih ljudi.
And I did not know any of them.
I nisam poznavao nikoga od njih.
And as you look, can see those are the musketeers.
I kao što vidite, ovo su musketiri.
They look strong, they look good.
Oni izgledaju snažno i dobro.
And we found more than 6.
I našli smo više od 6.
Because if you find 6 people,
Jer ukoliko nađete 6 ljudi,
if you find 6 people, you have an average income
ako nađete 6 ljudi, imate prosječan prihod
of 80 to 100,000 shillings, which is around 40 to 50,000 your currency.
imate otprilike 40-50 tisuća kuna.
If you find 3 of them,
Ako nađete 3,
you have approximately an income of 30 to 50,000 shillings, which is around 15 to 30,000.
imate otprilike 15 do 30 tisuća kuna.
Would that change your life?
Da li bi to promijenilo vaš život?
I mean every month.
Mislim, svaki mjesec.
And so we showed this concept to many people.
I tako smo pokazivali ovaj koncept mnogim ljudima.
And we found those 6 people.
I našli smo tih 6 ljudi.
But we did not only find 6.
Ali nismo našli samo 6,
We found 35 like that.
našli smo 35 takvih.
That's why I'm so happy.
I zato sam tako sretan.
And if you find people who have a dream,
I ako nađete ljude koji imaju snove,
you find other people again who have a dream.
oni će pronaći i druge ljude koji imaju snove.
We have all the technique.
Imamo samo tehniku.
We have a timer here.
Imamo i timer
We have a
ovdje.
video here.
Imamo
We
video
have a
ovdje.
microphone.
Imamo mikrofon.
Except the overhead doesn't work.
Samo što overhead projektor ne radi.
We got computers here too.
Imamo i kompjutere ovdje.
Right, yeah. This is the picture of Romania.
Ovo je slika iz Rumunjske.
There are around 3,000 people in there.
Tu ima otprilike 3000 ljudi.
I did not know one person before.
Ja nisam poznavao ni jednu osobu prije.
But I knew somebody
Ali sam znao nekoga
who knew somebody in Austria.
ko je poznavao nekoga u
Who
Austriji.
knew somebody in Austria.
Ko je poznavao nekoga u
Who knew
Austriji.
somebody in Hungary.
Ko je poznavao nekoga u Mađarskoj.
And the one who knew somebody in Hungary knew somebody in Hungarian.
A taj u Mađarskoj je poznavao Mađara, koji je poznavao Mađara, koji je poznavao Mađara,
Who knew somebody in Romania.
koji je poznavao nekoga u Rumunjskoj.
Is that logic?
Je li to logično?
No.
Nije.
But remember, logic does not make you free.
Ali zapamtite, logika vas neće osloboditi.
Forget logic.
Zaboravite logiku.
People who know people who know people.
Ljudi koji znaju ljude, koji znaju ljude.
And I want to show you another folio.
I želim vam pokazati još jednu foliju.
Because we traveled so much around the world,
Jer putovali smo toliko po svijetu.
we have many people who live on the golf courses.
Imamo mnogi ljudi koji žive na golf terenu.
And for 10 years, this was a dream of mine.
I 10 godina to je bio moj san.
I wanted to have a house in Austria on the golf course.
Želio sam imati kuću na golf igralištu.
And everybody said this is not possible.
I svi su rekli to nije moguće.
And one day I was in a plane,
I jednog dana bio sam u avionu.
and in the plane there was a brochure and they talked about the golf course in Austria where you can buy a house.
I u toj brošuri, u tom časopisu bilo je govora o golf igralištu gdje će se moći graditi i kuće.
And this was a dream of a millionaire in Austria.
I to je bio san jednog milionera u Austriji.
And this is how you start your business.
I tako i vi počinite svoj posao.
You live your normal life.
Živite svoj normalni život.
You're pretty happy until now somebody came and
Bili
made you
ste-
uncomfortable.
Bili ste prilično sretni dok sad neko nije došao koji vas je izbacio iz komfortne zone.
And then you sit down and you make a plan what you need to do.
I onda sjednete i napravite plan što treba napraviti.
And then you start to go through your name list.
I onda prolazite kroz vašu listu imena.
And it's getting dirty.
I stvar postaje prljava.
You're digging in dirt.
Kopate u prljavštini.
You're looking for those emeralds. You're looking for those diamonds.
Tražite te smaragde, tražite te dijamante.
And lots of trucks are going left and right and everywhere.
I puno kamiona ide lijevo, desno i posvuda.
And then,
A
this,
onda,
after a certain time,
nakon određenog vremena,
this is how it looks like.
to izgleda ovako.
It's already a bigger place.
Već je to veća površina.
They're just building the lake.
Upravo grade jezero.
There was nothing there. There's a lake.
Tamo prije nije bilo ničega, sad je tamo jezero.
This is how it looks like from the aeroplane.
Ovako je to izgledalo iz aviona.
It's just dirt.
To je samo prljavština.
And when we bought our property,
I kad smo mi kupili naš posjed,
there was nothing there.
tamo nije bilo ničega.
Just caterpillars and trucks.
Samo bageri i kamioni.
It looked dirty.
Izgledalo je prljavo.
But this lady who sold us this property,
Ali ta dama koja nam je prodala naš
She-
zemljište,
she talked to my wife how one day it will look like.
ona je pričala mojoj ženi kako će to jednog dana
She
izgledati.
sold my wife the dream.
Ona je prodala mojoj ženi san.
And my wife bought into that dream.
A moja žena je kupila taj san.
And this is how it looks now.
A ovako to sada izgleda.
There's the lake.
Tu je jezero,
There's the clubhouse.
tu je klupska kuća,
This is the beach.
ovo je plaža,
This is the golf course.
tu je golf igralište,
This is where you go swimming.
tu se pliva
And there are only around 15 houses on the front on the lake.
i postoje svega 15 kuća ovako uz jezero.
And we were the second one who bought the property there.
I mi smo bili drugi koji su kupili posjed tamo.
You like this?
Da li vam se sviđa ovo?
Now it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Sada izgleda super, zar ne?
And all our friends say, oh, you're lucky.
I svi naši prijatelji kažu, a da, vi ste sretni.
But when we bought the property,
Ali kada smo kupili to
our
zemljište,
friends said, "You're stupid.
naši prijatelji su rekli, vi ste glupi.
How can you buy property that maybe nobody builds?"
Kako možete kupiti posjed tamo gdje možda ništa neće biti izgrađeno?
We asked the real estate agent, "What do you think? Is that a good investment?"
Pitali smo agenta nekretnina, mislite da je to dobar
He said, "I would be careful."
posao? On je rekao, ja bih bio
We
oprezan.
talked to the lawyer.
Pričali smo sa
They
pravnikom.
said they have certain rules
On je rekao, postoje određena pravila.
because you are only allowed to build in a certain way, so everything looks beautiful.
Jer smijete graditi samo na određeni način, tako da sveukupna slika bude lijepa.
So we talked to professionals,
I dakle, razgovarali smo sa
and the
profesionalcima
professional said, "I would not do it
i profesionalci su rekli, ja to ne bih učinio.
because this will happen to you too."
Jer to će se i vama događati.
You see a stage here today.
Vidite ovdje danas
You
pozornicu,
will see some people who are successful already here in Croatia.
vidjet ćete ljude koji su već sada uspješni u Hrvatskoj.
You heard one of the best good-looking speakers in Europe.
Čuli ste jednog od najboljeg, najzgodnijeg predavača u
You're
Europi.
excited.
Vi ste uzbuđeni.
You think this is something for me,
Vi mislite ovo je nešto za mene
and then tomorrow you meet the experts.
i sutra ćete sresti eksperte.
And they will tell you, "Oh, yes, it works in Austria, but not here in Zagreb. Oh, no, no, no.
I oni će reći, da, može biti da to funkcionira u Austriji, ali kod nas u Zagrebu
Could never work.
to nikada ne može
You don't
funkcionirati.
believe this?
Vi to ne vjerujete.
So who are the experts?
Dakle, tko su ti eksperti?
You are the experts.
Vi ste eksperti.
You went through so many challenges over the last 10, 15 years,
Vi ste kroz posljednjih 10-15 godina prolazili kroz toliko ispita
and you fought for freedom.
i borili ste se za slobodu.
Didn't you fight for freedom in your country?
Niste li se borili za svoju slobodu u vašoj
Didn't
zemlji?
people die for freedom?
Nisu li ljudi poginuli za slobodu?
Absolutely.
Apsolutno.
People died for freedom.
Ljudi su pogibali za slobodu.
Now you live in a free country,
Sada živite u slobodnoj zemlji,
but most people are not economically free.
ali većina ljudi nisu ekonomski slobodni.
Fight for it.
Borite se za to.
Fight for it.
Borite se.
There is a possibility.
Postoji mogućnost.
Because of this picture,
Zbog ove slike,
I came yesterday on the plane from Austria.
jučer sam došao iz Austrije avionom,
And this plane came from Malaysia.
a taj avion je došao iz Malezije.
And from Malaysia it came to Vienna, and from Vienna it flew into Zagreb.
Znači, iz Malezije je došao u Beč, iz Beča u Zagreb.
And I saw people there when they take off in Austria, in Vienna.
I vidio sam ljude koji su bili u avionu u Beču
And I was listening to the people.
i slušao sam te ljude.
And then I saw some people looking out the window.
I vidio sam neke ljude kako gledaju kroz prozor.
Their nose really flat.
Nos im je bio priljubljen za stakla.
And they were talking, "Look, Croatia, Croatia."
I govorili su, gledaj, Hrvatska,
And they were
Hrvatska.
really excited.
I bili su jako
And they were
oduševljeni.
hugging each other.
I grlili su se.
And when they were landing,
I kada smo se spuštali,
you saw people crying.
vidjeli ste ljude koji plaču.
When you walked out the airport, there were some friends and relatives waiting out there.
Kada su izlazili iz aviona iz carinske zone, čekali su ih
10,
prijatelji
20
i roditelji.
people.
10, 20 ljudi.
The parents, the friends, all waiting for them.
Prijatelji, roditelji, svi su ih čekali.
Because finally they came home.
Jer konačno su se vratili.
Because you have millions of Croatians who left Croatia.
Jer imate milijone Hrvata koji su napustili Hrvatsku.
Because they saw no opportunity in Croatia.
Jer nisu vidjeli mogućnosti u Hrvatskoj.
They went overseas to any country,
Otišli su preko oceana u neke zemlje,
but home will always be home.
ali dom će uvijek biti dom.
Always will be home.
Dom će uvijek biti dom.
You don't have to leave Croatia.
Ne morate napuštati Hrvatsku.
You don't.
Ne morate.
You can build a business here.
Vi možete izgraditi posao ovdje.
You can create lifestyle.
Vi možete stvoriti životni stil.
Because I also left Austria because I made more money in America and Australia.
Ja sam isto napustio Austriju zbog toga što sam zarađivao u Americi i Australiji bitno više.
And now, this was in a magazine and in an airline.
Ovo je bilo u magazinu, jednom isto časopisu u avionu.
And they made pictures of our house
Napravili su slike naše kuće,
because it's a wonderful house.
jer je to krasna kuća.
And they also like it because it's always open. The children can always come.
I djeca uvijek mogu ući u tu kuću.
And this is my office.
Ovo je moja radna soba.
Down here is my daughter, Nina.
Ovo je ispod moja kćer Nina.
She's just going to play tennis.
Upravo se sprema na tenis.
And so I can decide when I want to work, where and when.
Ja mogu odlučiti kada i gdje želim raditi.
And I just tell you those things not to show you how wonderful I am,
Te stvari vam ne govorim zato da vam pokažem kako sam ja krasan,
I'm just happy to show you this because now you have that opportunity here too.
Ja sam sretan samo što vam mogu pokazati te stvari jer vi sada imate ovu mogućnost i ovdje.
Because of this couple.
Zbog ovog para.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Jim and Nancy Dornan from America.
Ovo su Jimmy i Nancy Dornan iz Amerike.
They brought this opportunity to Europe.
Oni su tu mogućnost doveli u Europu.
And they helped us and our friends who are here.
I oni su pomogli nama i našim prijateljima koji smo ovdje.
To reach our goals.
Da bismo postigli naše ciljeve.
And now this opportunity is here for you in Croatia.
I sada je ova mogućnost ovdje za vas u Hrvatskoj. I svim zemljama koje su oko Hrvatske.
And so I was just telling you a little bit part of our story.
I sad sam vam samo ispričao jedan mali dio naše priče.
But in the second part,
ali u drugom dijelu,
I want to teach you step by step what you really need to do to become successful in this business.
Ispričat ću vam korak po korak što stvarno morate napraviti da biste bili uspješni u ovom poslu.
But what we want to know from you,
ali mi od vas želimo znati,
is do you come to a seminar?
Da li vi dolazite na seminar?
From the 1st to the 3rd of June.
Od 1. do 3.6.
Which is only in 3 weeks time.
Što je za samo 3 tjedna.
Where this couple you just have seen will be here as a guest speaker in Zagreb.
Gdje će ovaj par koji ste upravo vidjeli biti kao gost govornik u Zagrebu.
That's the main question.
To je najvažnije pitanje.
Because we know this venue will be full.
Jer mi znamo da će dvorana biti puna.
We know there will be 10,000 people there.
Mi znamo da će biti 10,000 ljudi tamo.
If you're lucky,
ako ste sretni,
you still get a ticket.
Onda ćete još i dobiti kartu.
Because it will be sold out.
Jer bit će rasprodan.
And that's why you're here at this seminar.
I zbog toga ste ovdje na ovom seminaru.
To make a decision to say yes, I'm ready to invest time and money.
Da donesete odluku da spreman sam investirati vrijeme i novac.
Because that's the best investment for me to put into my future and my children's future.
Jer je to najbolja investicija za moju budućnost i za budućnost moje djece.
And so for myself, I love to be here in Croatia.
Što se meni tiče, volim biti ovdje u Hrvatskoj.
And you will hear more people talking about different subjects.
I čućete još druge ljude koji će govoriti o raznim temama.
You were a wonderful publicum.
Bili ste sjajna publika.
And I will hear you later again.
I čujemo se kasnije.
Thanks for your attention.
Hvala na pažnji.